Welcome Pisces, this is Regina from Pacific Tarot getting ready to do your new moon in Virgo reading. The new moon's on September the 2nd, and it is highlighting the area of your life that is around significant others. That can be an individual, a group of individuals, or it can be a goal, an aspiration. This is a general reading and it will not resonate for all of you. If you desire a personal reading and are interested in that, please look in the description box below for information about the things that I offer, different readings. I'm happy to do that. I am especially happy to be here now, and I appreciate all of you for your presence here. It is essential for me to have your energy as I do these readings. So I'm already feeling you, Pisces. Um, and of course, we all have complicated charts or in specific, unique solar charts. So it's important that if this doesn't resonate with you, that you look up your other placements. Usually sun, moon, rising is a great place to start. And for some like me, I also use my progress sun. So it's easy to progress your sun so that you actually can count, add your age to your birth year digits in order, and then divide that by 30 to figure out where your progress sun is. So I am a Pisces progress sun. So this is important for my evolution, and it may be something that can help you. So let's get started, Pisces, with your overall energy. I rambled a bit there. I hope that information is useful for some of you. And your overall energy is the High Priestess. This is absolutely one of your cards, although it pictures the moon here. There are various cards that resonate with your energy. This is your intuition being on high vibe. You may almost be operating from intuition at this time, which gives me a sense, we'll have to see what the other cards are, but that there are a lot of changes or opportunities, events that are difficult for you to quite be clear on what their value is, what they mean for you in this moment. Particularly with Pluto moving back into the last few minutes of Capricorn and for a couple of months now, a couple of months going forward. This is Pluto's last pass through the sign it's been in for the last 15 plus years. So this is a kind of last opportunity to extract the lessons we've learned, and from such a deep um, passage as Pluto always is, our worlds are likely to be completely changed from us 15 or more years prior to this moment. And we're on the verge of another big social change. Pluto is a social planet. So it is about the change that you and your generation and all others feel on a collective level. As a result of these monumental changes in the way our society is literally structured, you are allowing your intuition to guide you in a way that is absolutely necessary, as I believe you quite possibly are one of those who have chosen to come back to Earth in order uh, to deliver a service and at the same time continue your own growth. It isn't that you're better than others. You know that you still have more you can learn, or others you can support in their growth. At the 10th house, this is the house of your social identity, the way others see you. And it's a perfect contrast to the High Priestess, where everything is held in through the lens of your intuition. The Eight of Wands is almost the opposite. There is a lot of information, movement, connection with others, setting things up, progressing action. And in this way, you may be invited into a number of opportunities. People want to include you in actions they're generating. This can be a level of activism or an impact on your social advancement in your profession or the work that you do. In the first house, this is your perspective, your mindset. The Six of Swords is very much focused on the energy of moving away from an environment that wasn't right for you. There is a sense here that you didn't fit neatly into this setting. And this can even be an intimate experience or family of origin where you have grown beyond the situation. You recognize the limitations of your participation in a group where you aren't seen or valued, where you're not heard. It isn't as though people aren't listening. It's more that they don't understand or hear your contribution, your participation, and recognize its value. And in that way, you have moved away. You're moving on to an opportunity where you can not only gain some peace, some distance, some resolution, but also some acceptance of the necessity of the challenges you have or still are experiencing, and the necessity for you to get some perspective on that. In the fourth house, this is the house of your roots, your family, your history. The Temperance card is describing, wow, a very, very long standing healing process. This may, for some of you that are young, represent an experience of calibrating your resources with your talents, skills, and abilities, so that, like the Grand Alchemist, for which this card is named in another Brotherhood of Light deck, I believe, or one of the Egyptian decks, this really is about the experience of elevating your sensual or so-called instinctual nature, our animal natures, into the purity, the lightness, the truthfulness, the authenticity of gold. And the alchemist practice was about refining metals with the use of the philosopher's stone, which is truth. So this is about your, for most of us, it's our earthly journey. We don't always perceive it as such, and this card indicates that you have perceived that part of your existence on earth is dedicated to improving who you are, improving your conditions, becoming a better person, recognizing the appropriateness of service or sharing as a means of establishing equitable exchanges with others. In the seventh house of your significant others, the Four of Swords is really reinforcing the healing metaphor for your significant relationship. So, having identified those patterns, those characters that I was speaking about earlier through the Pluto transit, you've actually done some very hard work to face things about yourself, things about your experience that you recognize are holding you back. This is taking responsibility and learning the lessons that lead to the gratitude for why these things had to exist, why these challenges were necessary in order for you to get to the place you are now, stronger, smarter, with a deeper compassionate, not just for others, but for yourself. This represents a spiritual foundation as the basis for your significant partnerships. And although this may seem obvious, this is not obvious to everyone, that the basis on which you are connected deeply with friends, family, lovers, colleagues is because of shared values and a shared responsibility in creating your own reality. And I hope this reading's resonating for you, Pisces. If so, please like this video. Please share this with others and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot, which you probably know if you're a regular on YouTuber is essential for me to be able to continue to do what I do, and I love what I do. So thank you for however you support me in whatever way that is. I pulled perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And this is really feels like it's about an internal process for you. This continuing to face down restrictive opportunities, to face unfortunate consequences, the consequences of your decisions that have not always been to your best interest, that have not always perhaps been kind to yourself, and really taking the opportunity to engage consciously in the elevation of your awareness, the evolution of your gifts, your understanding about the nature of the service that you're here to share with others. The golden-backed frog from Flora and Fauna of Africa, keyword is ambition, and it reads, things are changing quickly. Embrace it, release negative emotions, and commit to new beginnings. Take a leap of faith. Interesting, the quickness of superficial opportunities, connections, and actions when the high priestess, this grander experience of uh, stepping into a role that you've had before, an authority that you already can see the direction for you and correct action in situations as a result of your greater spiritual foundation. In the first house, the Six of Swords is clarified by the World in the second house and the King of Water in the third house. So you have completed a journey that the world describes many things. You are being recognized and rewarded for an achievement, an important achievement that revolves around your values. And this may be recognizing the stake you have in the values and principles that are relevant to your awareness and the elevation of the consciousness of others, your role in that, your responsibility. You are one that can introduce or bring people along towards a desire for individual awareness, for evolution. You're also closing out a journey. Perhaps this is closing out formally an experience of education or of employment. This can also be closing out childhood or a stage of life where you feel that you're moving on to another act. I think Jane Fonda calls it the second or third act, as if we look at our lives over a long period of time. So you may be transitioning from one act to another, and you value the lessons you've gained here as preparation for that transition. The King of Water, of course, another one of your cards where you are vulnerable. You lead, your strength is your vulnerability, your ability to be compassionate, your ability to cry, to have deep feelings, to not hide your feelings, but also to know how to be dispassionate in the application of your wisdom, your advisement, so that you're not simply empathizing with others, but that you are um, allowing them to tell their own story, perhaps by hearing your story. This is the card of a storyteller. It's the card of a counselor and there's some vital role you play. I'm sensing in your work community in particular, where you provide healing, you provide people with an opportunity to speak freely or to speak about things that are difficult to speak with others about. This can be the consequence of the work that you do or the environment you establish in your work or at home. In the fourth house, the temperance is clarified by the three of air in the fifth house and the messenger of water in the sixth house. So heartbreak, disappointment, recognizing the patterns, particularly in the house of your friendships, your lovers, your romantic prospects, the way that you enjoy yourself, the way that you find pleasure, find joy in the company of others, uh, is there's a pattern there that you're understanding is limiting your growth potential. You are allowing yourself to get in touch with some feelings that are uncomfortable for you. And this may relate to a parent, a grandparent, as well as to your peers, your lovers, or exes, for instance. So that the pattern you see perhaps is the result of a childhood relationship with a parent or a sibling, even, and recognizing that pattern is giving you the opportunity to heal it, to recognize that in many ways this is a gift for you. The old saw, rejection is protection. There's something about that coming through here, but you have tried to serve sometimes these wounded friends or allies or lovers in a way that speaks to your phenomenal compassion towards others, but also to your sensitivity, your intuition, your recognition of others needing support, and your willingness to be that for others, even when it worked against you, even when it was hurting you. So let's not forget Pisces. Pisces is the sign that oversees hospitals, large institutions, prisons, places where people that are ailing, that are flawed, go for healing, for restoration, for hospice. And that's something that apparently a role you've played for others who are deeply wounded and at many levels may have wounded you as well. The Four of Swords in the seventh house is clarified by the Six of Earth in the eighth house and the Chariot in the ninth house. There's a couple things going on here, and I think it's so interesting because they definitely do relate to the impact of this particular lunation on the area of your significant others. You are actively and consciously renegotiating the way that you do contracts with others. And by contracts, I mean any exchange of energy that is naturally relevant to love and money, but it's any way where you enter into an agreement where the terms of your participation are agreed upon. This, for many of you, is a new idea or an idea that seems to overstep your powerful intuition, right? You know what your agreement is with others. You may know that on a spiritual level, but are you able to manifest that in a concrete way so that others are not having to be in your head? They don't have to read your mind, that you're explicit, giving these wounded lovers, in some cases, an opportunity to recognize that your expectation of reciprocity may be beyond their willingness or ability. Also protecting you from resentment when you work towards caring for, nurturing, supporting someone without that same support coming back at you, without even an understanding that that was what was expected. So this is part of your dealing with your own wounds, but also recognizing that what you offer deserves to be reciprocated. When you work for someone, you deserve to be clear on the terms of the contract and to be willing to negotiate that. In many ways, that feels like something that has been off the table for you, and you're attempting to learn about that. Moreover, I feel that you are stumbling less over the problems of others. You are allowing yourself not to be distracted because you're not trying to be like other people. You're accepting your unique qualities and gifts, and you're recognizing that your goal is worthy of you. It comes from your desires, your needs, your willingness to work for success, for your abundance. This is not about isolating. This is about within the context of your community, within the context of the path you're on, really understanding that only you can focus on what it is you wish to create. It's your focus, your clarity of that of focus that determines your ability to get there, and quite quickly. So this is feeling like one of the offers, one of the invitations you may be receiving is about perhaps a better, more challenging position that matches your ambition in a way that is deeply satisfying to you, as it looks as though you're completing something. You are fired up to pursue that new goal, that new opportunity. In the 10th house, the 8 of Wands is clarified by the 6 of Fire. In the 11th house, and the 4 of Water in the 12th house. So you are very much celebrating your commitment to the team. That can be part of this closing out of a cycle, a continuation of the preparation that you have gained through the work that you've done. And I'm talking about work because I'm seeing the idea of accomplishment and ambition being critical to the Pisces I'm speaking to. So that you are understanding that in order to get somewhere, even pursuing your own personal ambitions requires you to commit to the team, commit to your collaborators, your collective, in a way that establishes standards and goals that you are in alignment with. This can have to do with a particular industry where you participate or are regularly informed about the changes in industrial standards. But because of your participation in this arena, because of your awareness and ability to protect those you serve and those you work with, you are celebrated for this commitment. You are seen and recognized. This is also almost like another opportunity for you to be clear on agreements. These are agreements and standards and principles that apply to your industry and everyone within that industry. They positively impact the world around you, whatever context you're in. And that is about improving on the collective experience of others so that we improve upon the world. The 4 of Water is about the way that you are getting out of a place that felt stuck for a long time. You've been working on gaining your momentum to get past this shift in your experience, releasing old experiences, again, particular to your work, while you're still engaged in your work very actively, but you are only now identifying the personal goal, the personal ambition that is helping you to manifest a match in the offers that suits you. So all of these invitations and offers are not all things that you're interested in or you recognize as being essential to your successful path forward. But you are aware that you have learned along the way how to choose allies and opportunities that are aligned with you, that support you, that see you, that value your purpose, and understand the necessity for you to continue on your individual path. You understand, even if these offers aren't a match for you, aren't something you're interested, you recognize perhaps the downside, you are aware that you can manifest the opportunity and thus the goal that is relevant, is a match for you now. You're no longer the person you were when you set out your wishes, your intentions for whatever that thing was that you felt would make you whole, happy, and stable, secure. You have a much more evolved idea of how that occurs through your own growth and identification of things that are for you now, as opposed to they were once things that you valued and thought were important. You can even look at this energy as once valuing the superficial trappings of success and now understanding that really money, fame, having nice things isn't all that you are pursuing. You're pursuing more than that. You're pursuing a successful self and creative expression of who you are. I'm going to finish up this reading with a yogic path oracle, Pisces, and hope that you've gained some insight along the way here. I pulled Tapas, and I'm going to look that up. And tapas is self-discipline. You've gotten where you are because of your discipline, and this will continue to take you where you need to go. While discipline sounds like a heavy word, it is really just committing to becoming the highest version of yourself. The next evolution will require refinement of your inner strength. You're undergoing a deep transformation, stepping outside of your comfort zone, gaining strength, moving through fear. Now's the time to ask yourself important questions. What practices have I committed to? What practices do I still need to commit to? Is my daily routine serving me? How can I improve it? Where do I need to set boundaries in my life to further align with my truth? Am I showing up for myself the way I would for a friend or child? Thank you so much, Pisces, for this beautiful reading. I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, namaste.